Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening we'll be reading from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Panchama Veda, English page 909. Today we are a little late. I'm sorry because of some electronics problem, some Wi-Fi connection, etc. So we are a few minutes late, I think almost 9 minutes. Now let us begin with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabhi viriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Of a human being. He was born in a very humble but very pious family. And from there he is growing up. He is coming to the city. And in that city, the people who are there, the hypocrisy is too much over there. So they were egoistic people and they started thinking that they know much better. And because they learned the foreign language, they could communicate with the rulers. They started thinking that they are the best people, and as it is said that in basking in the reflected glory. So that was the situation when a very humble Brahmin like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who is not having any background of so-called education from any so-called university, or neither he is having the aristocratic stamp at his back. He is from so and such family. No. In that condition, a humble priest who is to earn only rupee 8 per month, and he was working in a temple, he is changing the mindset of those social leaders. If we can keep this thought in our mind, this background, then we can understand how Sri Ramakrishna in different way changing the mind of the people. If you go to the ordinary village people, talk to them, it becomes so easy. When you see the life of Lord Krishna when he was in the Vrindavan, and it was so easy for him, all people were very simple-minded. They knew that he is also one of them. They used to sing with him, play with him. They were growing up together. But when the Lord Krishna, the God himself, who took the form of Sri Krishna, he understood the time has come for him to reestablish the dharma, sthapakaya cha dharmasya. So the dharma, sthapana, he then shifted to the cities. And from there he is coming to the Mathura. Whole scenario is changing. Most of the people are very cruel type of people. They are eager to grab the power, money, and naturally their behavior was completely different. A humble boy, Sri Krishna, who grew up in a very simple village condition, now he is coming to change the mindset of these people. But in those days it was necessary because the Kshatriya power. So he had to use the physical power to subdue those people. In the 19th century it was not necessary. The physical power was not shown. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he took birth in a Brahmin family. And why the Brahmin? American society may not understand this, but it's the intellectual families. Those who are dedicated for the knowledge and also committed to live a very high moral values, practice that moral values. They were the Brahmins. So obviously, they were also compromised. Some people, though they were thinking they are Brahmin, society accept them as a Brahmin, but they became only a mere priest. Just going and worshipping and getting the salary against that, that became a profession, not sadhana, not austerity. Sri Ramakrishna is changing that. So those who were those who read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna thought in a critical way, they only they we appreciate the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. 33 crores of people, and for a long period of time, right from the 11th century down to 18th century, we can say, this is such a long period of time, they were under the rule of different type of cultures, different type of philosophy, thought. So these people lost all their originalities and imbibed the ego, and they were competing each other, vying each other. They were not ready to accept anyone, and that was the chaotic situation in the so-called head of the societies, educated societies, aristocratic society, where Sri Ramakrishna, now he is approaching. He is slowly changing the mindsets. This is the background. And sthapakaya cha dharmasya. He came to establish the righteousness. And how he is placing the righteousness and teaching the righteousness? By practicing himself. And what are that righteousness? Simplicity and truthfulness. The truthfulness, of course, you can understand, and simplicity, he was displaying the simplicity. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the doctor, we must keep this in our mind when we are reading this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It will be much better if someone studied the social condition of India in those days. In the 18th century India, particularly Bengal, in the capital of the undivided India. So that is historical background and the social background and the also economical background. So India was so prosperous. Now those rulers, they started taking out all the wealth to their own countries. So obviously they were sucking out the blood. And secondly, they were giving some type of education which was ruining the self-confidence of that local people, of those people. So and naturally they were not having any support from their ancestors. Oh, your ancestors are of no good, they never knew anything, they were illiterate, all your scriptures are useless. That type constantly, if you go on saying like that, and you are washing their head, washing their brain. So these people started thinking, yeah, we are not having anything. Sri Ramakrishna is coming, and he is not quoting from the other people or the then all established people. He was not quoting, he was not giving any talk, any lecture. But his approach was direct. He used to go to the people and used to talk to them, and slowly, slowly their mindsets were changing. The Sri Ramakrishna establishing Dharma by changing the mindset of particularly educated, well-established, high society people. Why? If they start thinking positively, then it will percolate to the root of the society. So that is Sri Ramakrishna, and all through we have seen when he is talking to the people, including the Girish Chandra Ghosh, he was a very influential person in those days and well-known person in those days. Whatever Girish is doing, people used to discuss about that. Master Mashai could not catch all those pictures. We are not getting any newspaper support also, report also in those days. The Girish was very famous. And this local, the Bengali community and also in India, they knew about him. Keshav Chandra Sen, very famous all over the world. And including his name was known to the Queen of the Great Britain. So obviously they were very, very famous people. Now Sri Ramakrishna going, meeting with them, talking with them, and in a very simple way, He's not fighting, he is not killing them, but changing the attitude. His simplicity, but very straight way of talking. Sometimes he used to use purposely some harsh words, very harsh words, to change that particular person. Like once he slapped the Rani Rashmani. You can imagine, Rani Rashmani was a very famous ruler in those days. And Sri Ramakrishna was a mere priest working under her. And when the Rani Rashmani was pretending that she is meditating and listening to the bhajans of Sri Ramakrishna, she requested, can you please sing a song? Sri Ramakrishna was singing, and Rani was thinking, the queen, she was thinking some litigation was going on, and the rich people, they have a lot of litigations always, all the time. So she was thinking that what is happening over there, who can help out, so maybe that way. And immediately, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna could read the mind of the persons sitting before him. And he slapped her. Can you imagine? Other people, they were taken aback. They were thinking this is the last moment of his life. Now he will be punished, he will be killed. It is not at the present day time that he will go to court and all that. Even those landlords, they could kill people. And the Britishers won't say anything. So the social condition was like that. So, but look at it. The lady, the Rani Rashmani, as because she was a very good soul, immediately she realized that this slapping is not for the insult, but to help her to develop spiritual life. The gurus, they behave different way to different disciples and for their own spiritual benefit. Here we find he is slapping the Rani Rashmani, and Rani Rashmani immediately her whole mind enlightened, and she understood that I am supposed to think of God only and nothing else, because I have come to the temple, I am sitting in inside the temple, and I am supposed to meditate on the Divine Mother whom I am worshipping, and about her only, Divine Mother only, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was thinking. So this is one way of teaching. Now we will find here Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, how he used very harsh words and about Dr. Sharkar. Dr. Sharkar came, and we are continuing the same conversation, and Master to the Dr. Sharkar. I have already told you that some people reveal more of God than others. We discussed about it the last Wednesday. And earth reflects the sun's rays in one way, a tree in another way, and a mirror still in another way. You see a better reflection in a mirror than in other objects. Didn't you see that? These devotees here are not on the same level with Prahlada and others of his kind. Prahlada's whole heart and soul were dedicated to God. Is it not very simple? Because Dr. Sharkar, from the point of view of the humanitarian and way of thinking, the all are same, we should be all same, like that. Some people, some political party, they always say like that, we are all equal, we are all same. We cannot. It is not possible. At the practical level, it's not. You can create some of the facilities for each and every one, but when you are sending all types of students to the school, some will be very intelligent boys and girls, and they will become the first and second or the grade 1, grade 2. Like that, they will be having, obviously they are different. Then they are all going to on the top of the society. They are becoming the administrators, they are becoming the technocrats, doctors, engineers, scientists. Obviously, their level were different. The second grade and the third grade, it happens like that. You are giving the opportunity to everyone, but spiritual life also the same. The God is giving you the teaching the way the God, everyone the same way. The scripture is for everyone, but understanding becomes different. Then the practices become different, realization also different. So that is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna wanted to tell. But he will go on telling, doctor will go on telling why people are coming and touching your feet, why they are spoiling you, why you are also accepting you, that they are touching your feet. You are an egoistic person. Indirectly, he was mentioning, oh, you enjoy the people are coming and touching your feet and you think that you are a holy man. To whom doctor is telling? To Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The Sri Ramakrishna could not say I in Bengali, Ami. He could not say that. And he could not say Ami, touching this body as usually everyone says. He used to say this one. He was completely different in his body. He never associated with this particular body. So he knew that he is the soul. He is all pervading. So, but this is too much for Dr. Sharkar. He was not understanding that. This Vedantic way, that all pervasive consciousness, and that consciousness has taken the human form, and that consciousness now talking, giving instructions, giving the ideals, and people naturally in our country, whenever we respect someone, we go and touch the feet. Not only the spiritual people, even the elderly people, juniors will go and touch the feet. That always it happens. There's nothing wrong. It is the culture of our society. But anyway, this Dr. Sharkar, who was educated in the European way, then he used to think that everyone's same, and the Europe thinks in that way. That's very good. But at the same time, you have to have this also a gradation. If a student is coming and behaving as a just with the teacher, in a simple way, teacher, and we are paying you, so you are supposed to give us the education. Can the teacher give the proper knowledge to that student? No. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. You have to have the respect. If after growing up the son and the daughter comes and they also behave with their grandfather, grandmother, father, mother in the same way as they behave with others, will that be all right? I don't think so. When they're going to the bosses, when that decorum has to be maintained. And that is exactly in the spiritual life also. When you are going to learn something, you must be very humble. And that you are humble, that you are dedicated, that you are ready to receive the instructions and advices and training from your teacher, the Indian way, bowing down and touching the feet. So this is a culture. So that way they show that we are humble and please teach us. Other people used to come and touch the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, but doctor, noticing it, used to think, oh no, this spoiler. He's a good man, no doubt. He's a very simple person, but why they should come and touch his feet? That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that I have already told you some people reveal more of God than others. So he gave the example from those who understand that the stories, particularly from the mythology. Mythology is a unique the scripture. What they do, they give there are some instructions, the morality, the values, and on that they will give a story. Someone he practiced this, someone here. 100% faith in the existence of God. So they will be giving the a story that if one boy, he used to believe in the God, his father never, his father was the king, and he was a very egoistic person. So he wanted even to kill his own son because he's still believing in the existence of God. I am the ruler, I am the powerful person, and everybody is below me. Why you are respecting someone else? So like that the story, then ultimately his father was punished. The God revealed that by that way, it is that prove the faith, the love of God will take you to the ultimate reality. God is there, God is protecting you, and God will be always with you if you are believing and depending on God. So this is the bottom of the whole story. That is the ultimate teaching of the story. And this way we learned. So Prahlada and the Prahlada stories were there. Hiranyakashipu and Prahlada. Now, Dr. Sharkar did not reply, and all were silent. The Sri Ramakrishna argued in such a wonderful way. Then again, Master to the Sharkar, you see, you have love for these, meaning himself. You told me that you loved me. Here also, if you notice, Dr. Sharkar came and told, I like you, I love you, so I come. And as I am coming to you and spending a lot of time, I am losing money. As a doctor, if I visit the other patient, I could earn more money. But I am giving so much of time for you because I like you, I love you. And Sri Ramakrishna reminding him, did you tell that? But you love me. Instead of that, he said, you see, you have loved for this, and pointing to his own body, meaning himself. Dr. Sharkar, you are a child of nature. Here again, we find that hard nut to crack, as they call it. So very difficult. And the ego die hard. It is impossible. Once it has entered into the mind, and I think I am correct, and it's so difficult to understand the truth. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that you have to have the mentality, otherwise the temperament, to learn. And that is why in the traditional way, when the students used to go to their teachers, just to carry the fagots. In those days, they used to have 24 hours. You have to burn the fire because fire was the very rarity. So they used to carry the fagots so that they can continue the fire, and for cooking, for warmth, for many other things, for the light also. So that was the way. And when they are collecting the faggots and taking the load full of that on their shoulder, approaching the teacher, it is a sign of humbleness. And if you are not humble, you won't be able to learn. The first thing is the humbleness. And that is the tradition of particularly Asia and particularly India. They were very humble before the teachers. And Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning in that. If a doctor said, no, you are a child of nature. That is why I tell you all this. It hurts me to see people salute you by touching your feet. I say to myself, they are spoiling such a good man. Keshav Sen too was spoiled that way by his devotees. Listen to me. Up to this he said. Dr. Sharkar, of course, he is correct in that way. We also, when some of the young boys and girls, when they come to become monk or nun, they may be qualified, they may be educated, they may be able, but always we try to tell them, no, you should not go in front of the people. At least 12 years. You have to hide yourself. You have to keep away from those people. If you go and then the people will be talking about you, appreciating you, your talk, your behavior, your writing, and slowly, obviously, it is very difficult, you will generate an ego. And you will be basking in that. Oh, they appreciate me, they like me. And if the senior Swami is asking you not to go in, oh, he is jealous, he don't like us to go, it is nothing jealousy. But from the experience, we know to develop the spiritual life, you have to be all alone. Why you are coming to become a monk? Because you do not like this world. Because you know this world is transitory, temporary. It has no value at all. But again, you are going to the world and you are very happy when people are appreciating and they are inviting you to give talk in different places. Is it not your ego that is you are increasing? And ultimately, when you will go and reach in a place, it will be very difficult to come back to start the journey once again towards God. That is why those seniors, they say, no, you should not do this, you should not do this. Not that we hate the ladies or the women, but we have to keep a distance and a very honorable way and behaving with them. That needs the experience, that needs the training. Otherwise, because of the tremendous nature, the nature is such, it is very difficult to fight with the nature. You won't be able to continue your monastic life for which you have left your hearth and home. That is the reason they always said, when we joined, it was very, very strict. Now, because of the changes in the society, when the new generation boys and girls, they are coming, they don't understand, they are habituated with many other things and the other gadgets, and without that they cannot survive, they cannot live. They're always constantly in touch with the societies and all those society information in their brain, and when they sit for meditation, what do they think? They think about that. No progress in their spiritual life. So we have to cut those things. That is the main. And this is correct from the point of view of Dr. Sharkar. But for a man of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was practicing his spirituality, and those who have, that's why we always suggest you must read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna. Without reading the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, that too, very little has been reflected in those books. Because no one was there, but still some people afterwards, when they saw, and then they collected the information, first-hand information from the contemporaries of the Sri Ramakrishna, and they wrote the books that is so excellent. The Sri Ramakrishna, when he used to practice spirituality, never ever even saw the people. He used to hide himself, and in the night time he used to go and meditate, he used to pray, he used to cry, and all that spirituality, so that he can give away all the attractions of the world. Because the five sense organs that we are having, they are constantly taking us out. And that's why in the Upanishad also it said that as if the father has banished his five sons to go out of the house and never allowed them to come in. So these our sense organs, it is made in such a way they go out and then they collect information and come and give it to the mind, and mind is turbulent and we can never control that mind. And when you are in that situation for a long period of time, it is very difficult to purify the mind. Because you cannot purify the mind. And what is that purity? Only thinking of God. Thinking things very straight, simple way. Otherwise, you will always imagine, and by that way you will take the things, and in that way disturbing your mind, and you can never make any progress in spiritual life. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna practiced that for a long period of time. And in Dakshineshwar, on the bank of the Ganga, many people observed that. That has been recorded in his biography. Now, afterwards, this Sri Ramakrishna, when he realized the God directly, then he practiced all the paths, one after another, all the 64 tantras. 64 tantras. So many varieties of ways in the Tantra. All the 64 he practiced. Then Vedanta, then the Dvaita, Advaita, everything. Now when doctor comes, he doesn't know anything, he's just ordinary and doctor, and he is asking Sri Ramakrishna to behave like a new ordained brahmachari or just a person who has started his life in spirituality. So he told, oh, you are a nice person, you're a child of nature, but other people are going to ruin you just by touching your feet so that your ego will be increased. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, when he said, listen to me, and Sri Ramakrishna, it is almost, he never did it. It was not in his character, in his nature, but sharply stopped him. He could not allow him to finish his statement. The master, listen to you? Now you think that Dr. Sharkar, whom he loved so much, about whom he all said so many good words to the people, this is the time, the way he is giving the real teaching to the doctor for his own benefit. Listen to you? You are greedy, lustful, and egotistic, and we listen to you? And Dr. Vaduri to Dr. Sharkar. Now the Dr. Vaduri came in and thinking, oh my God, Sri Ramakrishna, he said all those things without any hesitation because he is the guru and he is not expecting anything from Dr. Sharkar. What Dr. Sharkar is going to do? So he knew how long he will survive. He knew when his body he will give up. Only just as because he took the human form, he was behaving like human. He had tremendous power. If he wanted, he could survive for many, many years. But he knew that this my mission is over and this way I will go. And that's what he behaved. Dr. Bhaduri, and naturally, he was present. He saw that Dr. Sharkar is a very respected person in the society. And before everyone, Sri Ramakrishna said these words, and listen to you, you are greedy, lustful, egoistic. And naturally, Dr. Bhaduri to Dr. Sharkar, that is to say, you have the traits of a jiva. Dr. Bhaduri, he studied the scripture, so now he is trying to give a patch up, we can say. And he said, it is the sign of a jiva, an embodied being. These are his traits, the lust, egotism, greed for wealth, and a hankering after name and fame. All embodied beings have these traits. So this is the way Bhaduri wanted to tell. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned these words, and this is the indication that you are a jiva. And another way of expression, jiva, is Shiva. Shiva means you are the God. And when you can become God, when you can overcome all these weaknesses. But Dr. Sharkar, he understood it. And no, not like the Rani Rashmani. The Rani Rashmani, because she was very pious. So when Sri Ramakrishna slapped her, she never misunderstood it. Rather, immediately the light of knowledge was not in that way. We can understand that. He was a nice person, good doctor. But here he could not understand that, and he is telling, if you talk that way, I shall only examine your throat and go away. Perhaps that is what you want. In that case, we should not talk about anything else. But if you want discussion, then I shall say what I think to be right. All remained silent. The Dr. Sharkar argument was also correct. We can think that if you want the argument, you have to listen to me. But this is not the point of argument. Enlightenment. The Dr. Sharkar is now sitting in front of God, but he is not understanding, wasting his time through argument. But that is karma phala, that they are coming and sitting. And you know all this when we, after 100 years, 200 years, when we are reading this, and getting the whole picture, we can understand, oh my God, what a wastage of time. Dr. Sharkar, instead of arguing with Sri Ramakrishna, he should have taken his blessings and he could get the liberation. He could get everything. Now we are thinking. But the contemporary people, they don't understand that. And all that the graphically, Master Masha, he noted it, and it is not almost as if he has taken the movie and he is showing us. So that way, he has written in such a way, when we read, we can see the whole picture. And if you can remember the faces, Dr. Sharkar, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and the situation, you will see that as if you are seeing the movie. So graphic way, the description. That is why so wonderful this book. Whoever reads, and it has been translated almost in all the languages of the world. So this wonderful way expression, a man, a egoistic man, and he is thinking he's a righteous man and he thinks that all these things should be done, but doesn't know what is God and never practice spirituality. Many of the people nowadays, because in social media, you just put a camera and go on talking, and then you upload, nobody is going to say no, and you will have so many followers, they'll be listening to you. But the spirituality is such a thing that require character. And what is that character? Unselfishness. And the moment you are unselfish, you don't have any desire for the worldly objects. And then you are a real master and a real person to teach. But who cares for that? So many people in so many attires, so many dresses, and the beautiful looking they'll be, and they have that capacity to control the language, and by that way they are giving. And we listen to this and we listen to that, and that's good, good, good. But you know, in the spiritual life, as because time is very short and the hurdles are many. This moment when you are listening, immediately you think, oh, this is good. I am going to rectify myself, correct myself. I am going to follow the path. Then afterwards, again you forget because the Maya, it comes and then cover again. Again the same ego, again the same feeling, again the same mistake we go on doing. Regularly we are going on doing. And that is the reason they said, and a scum that we saw in the villages, and I don't know, but in the Bengal villages, some of the ponds are there covered with that hyacinths, and the scums are there, and it is coming. The people, they will be keeping another 3 or 4 bamboos. They will keep at that all those things at bay. So that particular water is always clean water. You can go, you can bathe, you can take that water like that. In the villages, we used to have that only pond water. And then it cannot come. And what is that? And the teachers, they will give the example of that and say, it is if you go on taking the name of God, then all the thoughts of the world that comes and cover your mind will be kept at bay. They won't come and cover your whole mind. Your mind will be very neat and clean. And when your mind is not agitated, and the moment you like to see the reflection of God over there, you can see. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave that hint. And in such a language, the doctor immediately, he forgot all other things. He started thinking about himself and he's coming out with this. But that will change him. Sri Ramakrishna never hated anyone. He was not angry with anyone. Only for their betterment, sometimes he used, and very, very rarely he used, path of negation. And therefore, he discriminates following the process of neti, and reasons in this way. God is not the living beings. He is not the universe. He is outside the creation. But later he will follow the path of affirmation and accept everything as the manifestation of God. Neti neti iti iti. Today we wanted to talk on that, but because a little we could not begin right time, but this affirmation and negation, this is an excellent path that has been developed by the Hindus. When you are negation, oh, this is not God, this is not God, this is not God, you negate and negate and negate and then proceed towards the ultimate truth. This world, the name and fame, I don't want. Those people, those who are in the world, I don't like to talk to them or mix with them so that their thoughts, their ways that may influence my mind. So I keep myself separate. That is called sadhana period, at least 12 years. Everyone should do like that. Those who are very, very sincere, particularly those who have accepted the monastic life. The 12 years you must have to fight with your own mind. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest that divinity within. Swami Vivekananda said in a very poetical way, step by step. Each soul is potentially divine. They are divine. You need not to bring the divinity from outside or acquire it from outside. It is already there. The goal is to manifest that. It is now potential, you have to manifest that. How? That it says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Controlling nature, there's the external nature and there's the internal nature. In the internal nature, actually, when we are growing up, so that many of the things from around. The family influences, the parents' influence, then the schooling, then the other society, the philosophy of the society, like that, all that is internal. You have to fight against that. Because that may be very narrow and very selfish type. And external, of course, it is jealousy. When somebody is successful, immediately jealousy comes. I have to fight back. Why I am jealous? I don't need that. Whatever I have to do, I will do, and back that way again and again. So Swami Vivekananda, he said, you have to fight against these, internal and external. How? Again, the four paths are there. Jnana, Bhakti, Karma and Yoga. But through the path of knowledge. And what is the path of knowledge? Discrimination. What you are going to discriminate? These worldly things that we see, mainly with the 5 different objects, there's sometimes very good smell, very good taste, very good the form, the figure, and the sight, and you can touch, all this. These 5 objects that we enjoy with our 5 organs, I am not going to take that. And that is called the purity of eating. Ahara Suddha. Ahara doesn't mean eating only through the mouth. Ahara means collecting from sense organs, all the 5 sense organs. So one must be careful about purifying that. What is the purity? God. When we are only talking about seeing God, that. When you see the other things, the worldly things, that is bad. So the purity and impurity depends on this decision only. So this way they no, not this, not this, not this, not this. Shankaracharya, he has composed a beautiful stotra. The Mano Buddhi Ahamkara Chittani Naham. The many of the Hindus, they always chant that. And those who are particularly following the path of knowledge, they chant that to remember and encourage themselves. That this, no. Aham nirvikalpa, nirakara rupa, vibhutvacha sarvatta sarvendriyanam. Then finally positive. The negation, negative, then finally affirmation. I am everything. And when you are collecting your mind, purifying your mind, concentrating your mind, no. But when you realize, you say, oh, I am everything. I have become everything that I see. So, affirmation. So, negation and affirmation. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, now and afterwards, if the God give you the mission to spread that knowledge, it become iti. Swami Vivekananda used to avoid the company of the ladies. Brahmacharya, he was a boy, he was a man, so obviously he used to avoid that, not that hating, but taking the mind. Then afterwards, when he came to America, and he was the guru, and in this Thousand Island Park in America, near the New York, then there he was giving the classes to the very chosen disciples, very few, I think 12, 14 of them. So they were there every day morning, he used to teach them the meditation, and afternoon he used to call one disciple, and either he or she will accompany Swamiji. At a very special way, Swamiji used to teach them meditation and how to practice the spirituality, not before others, completely isolated, separate. Still that building is there. If you go, and you can go inside the forest, still that place is there. That the place they can show you that a huge rock is there, and near that Swamiji used to sit, and he used to ask the disciple to sit on the other rock. He used to teach them. I don't know, nobody saw, but from the distance they used to see that Swami Vivekananda is teaching his disciple. There was a lady, and she was an actress, and Swamiji used to take her. 2-3 times Swamiji took her. Other ladies, they thought, oh, this is not good. Swamiji, like a young man, a very young, simple, and he doesn't know, but this lady is an actress. So obviously, the way she talk and that may attract the man's mind. So they were taken, as naturally the motherly heart, they wanted to call. When all people came away from the Thousand Island Park, because they came from different places of America, retreat was over, that lady didn't come back. She didn't go back to her old life. Rather, she purchased a small place over there and started practicing austerity and meditation. And there, in one small island, in the one heart, whole life she spent. The balance, whatever the life was there, she spent over there. And that changes. When we see from the outside, we think, oh no, this is not good for. They love Swamiji, and Swamiji was only just within 30s. So obviously, he came here at the age of 29, and 4 or 5 years he was here. He was only 32, 33 at the time, very young man, very good looking, very handsome. So naturally, other ladies, they were scared. Oh no, he should not go with this lady. But he was a guru. So he knew what he is doing, and he transformed the mind. The Sri Ramakrishna, when people are coming and touching his feet, Sri Ramakrishna will not change. Oh, they are giving me the honor by that way, ego. Oh no, no ego for him. So friends, this process of negation and affirmation comes when you are matured, and negation when you are practicing. We will discuss in our next class a little in details. Then now we should conclude. Thank you. Any question?
There are two questions. Samir Kumar De is asking, in my opinion, one should extend a helping hand to needy people in addition to praying before God, as preached by Swami Vivekananda. What do you think?
Of course. But this is not the topic today. The topic was the way you are doing it. When you are extending the helping hand, of course it's good. But when you are doing it at the back of that help, if you think, I am helping, no one in the world can do that, I am doing it, of course it's a good work and that person will be benefited, but you won't get any spiritual benefit by that way. If you are thinking, oh, I am so blessed that I got the opportunity to serve a poor who came a God in the form of a poor, I am helping him or her, then you get the benefit of the spirituality. The spiritual benefit and the social benefit are totally different. When you do that and then go on telling people, we are doing this, we are doing that, it's a social work, it's helping people. Good work, no doubt, but not that way spiritual. Thank you.
Sanhita Banerjee is asking what to do to get instant relief when my mind is too much depressed for some reasons.
I know. That is really as very, very challenging, very, very challenging. Because we, the human being, we cannot live without the society. And sometimes the society may not be as I am thinking, so we don't get friends. So it is very, very essential and very, very a necessity, I should say, to have a friend, one or two, of the same mindset. So in that only, by that way it is. Family can help in that way, but most of the families nowadays, because of the economical situation, social situation, we are becoming alone. But now it is a challenge, as because we have understood God alone is real, at least intellectually we have understood, hold on to that. Go on praying to that. The God, please help me. Body will go. Sometimes it goes in whatever way. But as long as there is the last breath, we should go on taking the name of God with the faith. God, you are there. I cannot see you, but you can see me. I may be making some mistakes, but don't please punish me for that. Now at least come and hold my hand. That prayer, and that will help you. That will help you. Thank you very much. So let us conclude with this stotra, offering the pranam to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa drita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.